Self-leadership deepens with consistent practice. In this video, we'll look at how small intentional routines can drive lasting personal and professional growth. Leadership doesn't start with others, it starts within. And true leadership is about showing up even when no one's watching. And that begins by developing habits that support clarity, intention, and resilience. So here we turn inward toward the practices that help us sustain what we've learned and grow further. We're building a blueprint, a personal everyday system for reflection, feedback, and direction. And these practices are simple, but when they're done consistently, they become powerful tools for transformation. Big change doesn't come from grand gestures, it comes from the things we do every day. So start every day by asking, what do I want to embody today? This sets your intention. It shifts you from autopilot into purpose. And then in the evening, take a few moments to reflect. What went well? What challenged you? What would you do differently? Over time, these small check-ins can add up to deep insight. I'd encourage you to use a journal, not just to record, but to process. This is an opportunity to capture your thoughts and identify patterns and learn from those lessons that you've experienced. And one of the most powerful daily questions you can ask yourself is, what can I influence today? This can remind you that even when things feel uncertain, you still have agency. Remember that mastery doesn't come from doing everything right. It comes from doing some right things consistently. With structure comes freedom. Building a routine that supports who you want to become will help you to become that person. Your routine doesn't need to be rigid, it just needs to be yours. Start with a morning ritual. This could be breathwork, mindfulness, or just 60 seconds of stillness. And then set your top 3 priorities for the day. This keeps you focused, grounded, and less likely to be pulled in too many directions. At the other end of the day, in the evening, take some time to take stock. Maybe use your reflective journal to review what has happened during that day. And ask yourself, what gave you energy today? Where did you feel challenged? What can you carry forward into tomorrow? Those prompts would create space for self-awareness to grow, and they help you turn those experiences into insights and insights into action. And those actions can then feed into your top 3 priorities the next day. Remember that feedback isn't criticism, it's insight, it's your growth mirror. And true self-leadership requires that we don't lead ourselves in isolation. Feedback from others helps us see what we can't see. So invite it. Don't just ask your boss or your line manager or your supervisor to give you feedback. That happens often in our working environment. But ask others. Ask your friends. Ask your mentors. Ask your peers. Ask your colleagues. Ask your family. Look for ways to be able to gain that feedback, to gain a deeper understanding of your own self-leadership style. You can use structured tools like 360-degree feedback or leadership self-assessment. But remember, something as simple as a journal or a reflection log can be a powerful feedback tool too, because that helps you to notice your own patterns over time and keep a record of feedback that people have given you, often informally, just an email comment or a comment in a corridor. But making a note of those helps you to gather a collection of evidence which can identify patterns and provide you with a deeper understanding of your own self-leadership. Approach this feedback with curiosity, not defensiveness. Don't ask, was I good? Ask, what can I learn? Remember that leaders aren't seeking praise, they're seeking perspective. Self-leadership is a mindset. It's a daily practice, it's a choice. To keep showing up fully, reconnect regularly with your why. What is your purpose? That's the anchor that helps you push through resistance and discomfort. It helps keep you going when motivation is lacking and procrastination is biting. And remember the 3 pillars: the doing self, set clear goals, use reminders, track your actions. The thinking self, cultivate a mindset of optimism and growth through positive self-talk and visualization. And the energizing self, find joy and meaning in your tasks, focus on the parts that light you up. When these domains work together, your self-leadership becomes sustainable. It's not just about getting things done, it's about how you think, feel, and grow through the doing. Remember that this isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, reflective, and intentional. Growth doesn't stop. There's no finish line. It's a loop. Act, reflect, learn, and repeat. Some days you'll feel strong and focused, other days you'll struggle, and that's normal. Self-leadership means showing up on both kinds of days, being kind to yourself when it's hard, being bold when you can, and always returning to your tools, your journal, your routines, your values. So I'll leave you with this one question. What is the one habit I will begin today to lead myself better tomorrow? Let that habit become your next step forward. So self-leadership is not about having all the answers. It's about being brave enough to ask yourself the right questions, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about showing up each day with curiosity, courage, and compassion, choosing growth over comfort, reflection over reaction, and purpose over pressure. As you move forward, remember, you already have the tools within you. What matters now is using them with intention. Keep checking in with yourself, keep refining your habits, and above all, keep leading from the inside out.